So our first profile is going to be the one, the only, Justin Fields. He's come on as of late. So if you look at the stats from last week, he was actually a top 5 quarterback. So that was a bit surprising, I think, for everyone just based on how they struggled. So he actually came in at number 5. He had 24.4 points, mostly carried by the 82 rushing yards and the rushing touchdown that he had. Only threw for 179 yards. But that rushing floor is something that can propel a lot of players into fantasy relevancy. So are you feeling Fields as a fringe QB1 moving forward, or do you think this was just a one-game fluke?
Go ahead, Drew.
How much does it cost to get a super like again?
I don't know. I think don't you get one anyway or something?
Probably like 99 cents.
I don't have a Tinder history really, so I'm gonna super like this though. Like this is, I've been in on this for a few weeks now. I just didn't want to say it till something actually happened. But like the rushing upside that he's getting is Jalen Hurts' his rookie year, and he was very good at the end of that season. Obviously the downside is his passing is suspect, but he's throwing the ball more than he had been. It's still not crazy enough, but he's been a fringe top 10 quarterback the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, so if you look at the stats, he was QB 13 in week 5. Week 6, he was QB 8. And then week 7, he was QB 5. So he's had some decent performances there.
It was a tough matchup this week. The Pats are always good on the defensive side of the ball. Like I think that with his rushing upside, he's safe. He's kind of like the Wish Lamar Jackson.
So he's somewhere in between Marcus Mariota and Lamar Jackson is what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's still kind of hard for me to take this segment seriously, but yeah, I'm definitely feeling Fields. When I get on Tinder at 2-3 in the morning.
Ooh, girl.
You mentioned that Fields is really starting to come on. That's what I'm looking for when I get on Tinder at 2 to 3 guys that are really starting to come on. So
I like that.
Oh.
I like that. All right. Yeah. I do think that rushing upside is there. It's interesting that just the number of quarterbacks that are struggling this year. So if you look at like the TD rates in Tampa Bay, they've dropped off by like a touchdown and a half per game, which has absolutely hampered Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers is like in shambles in Green Bay. So I think these guys like Mariota, guys like Justin Fields, where they're not, or even Daniel Jones for that matter, they're not necessarily moving the ball through the air, but everybody's kind of struggling in that front. We've noticed that fantasy points are down about 20% this year. So those guys that are willing to run the ball more, they may not be getting a touchdown every week, but if you're running the ball 14 times, then effectively you're getting a running back out of that. I don't know if I'd feel confident starting Justin Fields, but I do think that he's somebody that should be rostered. So yeah, I'll buy in on it too. I'm always down for a good swipe. So
he's the perfect QB2 superflex right now. That's mainly where I'm looking. And he's a bye-week fill-in streamer depending on matchup. But if you're in a 2 quarterback league, I'd love him to start weekly as your QB2. He's safe with that running floor.